I know. This is why, you know, Epic pays me in chicken parm. Imagine this, you watch from the in-game client, and it's a challenge, and if you complete the challenge, you get a spray, or V-Bucks, or a dance.
Yes.
Viewer incentives to tune in to the Fortnite World Cup. I mean, that sounds like 200 IQ, huh, Monster?
I mean, if we can do that.
Oh, it can be done.
Can we split credit, or I was here?
Epic, if you wind up doing that, you owe me half the game's revenue from all time.
All right, as we hop back in with Snowy here. Captain Shenanigan Courage is in full effect here.
Oh, gosh, hello.
Someone hops into spots. Big old shot for Jonzo right there. It's going to keep Snowy in the game. You know, he did take some damage, but with that 50 siphon heal, it's going to allow him to... So, free elimination for him, kind of walks in. That's a desperate play to make when someone kind of throws it all out. And
it almost looks like they moved out from that campfire and just went all in with the heavy sniper. And that's one where you try to make it work. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Here's Mongrel, 38 points. Still doing well from when we last checked in.
Can he find a shot here? He's so close to making this placement point. He's at 28 points here. So close, so close.
Je suis sur mon Graal, moi.
To kind of hold out for just a little bit longer. It's a big rotation here. Having a shadow bomb should keep him in the running. There are so many other players with shadow bombs colliding and collapsing in the same area right now. Does he own all the walls? He does a quick check, a little spin around right there. Lands some more shots. He's on the hunt. Can he find it? That player has no shield. Takes a wild pop shot there. Doesn't quite connect, but he's still in the running right now, and he does make the placement finally here as Idhem goes down.
Top 24. Mongrel trying to hold these walls. Getting sprayed out for a moment. You can tell the thought process of Mongrel, right? It's, I look at the zone and shoot at anyone that is with their back right to it, right? And that's all Mongrel keeps doing. Now realizes how low he is on mats, decides it's time to stop full boxing and start just pyramiding when I can. That's the elimination, though, that Mongrel needed to at least earn some more materials to make this next rotation even possible. No shadow bombs, no baller, no launch pad, just his ability to out-aim his opponents and build with whatever materials he has left. Mongrel, 0 builds, the worst case scenario for Fortnite in the late game. The one silver lining here, Monster does still have a ton of HP, but here's the issue. Still not in the top 15.
Mon Graal, il est trop fort, mon Graal.
Zone right at his back. I can tell you right now, if this was Mongrel, still on another position in this lobby, Mongrel would be shooting at where he is himself because of this positioning. Down to 5 HP, no shot, no builds left. Where Mongrel's skill comes in is in his ability to outbuild and out-edit his opponents. And unfortunately, with no builds, that's not possible.
Yeah, in those final moments, it's hard to tell if he did just scrape out the placement point, though. 3 players went down in quick succession. We'll find out when we check in with them later here. But Rozzy, who had the high ground and some impulses, is trying to chuck him out here. Maybe see if he can flush somebody out really quickly. Imagine if he lands one. Would be crazy. Real for himself. He has the flint knock to get off of the high ground. If you guys are new to the Fortnite scene, you can
Je vais vous donner le classement de la World Cup, les
It's
gars.
actually one of the most versatile tools in the game, or weapons. So here comes the AR, gets a nice little headshot right there, and Mitch goes down. And now it's off to build again as he's trying to save his high positioning here. He does have that flint, one flint to the body when you're in the high ground, and you're getting chucked off those builds.
Bye-bye.
Probably guaranteed to get eliminated at that point.
So Razy just more than happy and going back over all these old builds, so not even having to reinforce this. It's already fully built, it looks like brick and metal. Castery, Nort,
Wow.
Which one do you think it is?
It's not me.
I'm happy to tell you.
It's not me either.
It's actually Kitty Plays. Boom! Right there. You know, it's not easy making this look good. Let's go meet up with Monique, the makeup artist, to see how she gets all this done.
No, I don't like that guy, Zeke. He's such a... Oh, hey! Hi, I'm Mo. I'm the makeup artist. I'm the one that makes these nerds look beautiful. Oh, Zeke. Sorry, let me just reel.
There's two people that don't get nearly enough love. They are the people who operate the cameras, and I'm going to introduce you to them right now.
That's Allison. That's Mahoney. That's Mo.
Hi.
Touched on right there is when he gets knocked out with that RPG, instantly rips. Oh my goodness, that was
north, you know, setting up their cottage, setting up their homes.
take 4, and 1 minute game!
Ready off 5, ready off 6, take off 6.
Keep on 1!
Ready off 3, take off 3. Ready off 10, take off 10. Take off 5, take off 6. Take off 3.
And cut. Keep up the good work.
Are we gonna do a Fortnite? Wait, come on. Let's do a pookie. Let's do a pookie at 3. 1, 2, 3. Pookie.
We have a post-show pinata.
Get it right now, see. I'm right camera. Hit Pete in the face.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the continued coverage of the Fortnite World Cup Open Online Qualifiers. We are in solos, week 9, the last chance to qualify for one of the biggest competitive gaming events ever, live from New York City, the World Cup Finals. Cannot wait for it to kick off. The action today has been fantastic. And guess what? I've got great news for you. We have one of the most talented, handsome, well-spoken, loved, positive people I've ever met in Sundown, and Dr. Lupo.
Thank you so much for that, Jack. Honestly think that's the most genuine and heartwarming thing that you would challenge me to find any drip of sarcasm in that. But I am Sundown, joined here by Dr. Lupo, and we're about to get you into the final moments of the European region for the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifiers. I mean, it's been absurd so far.
The only time I think I could get Jack to say anything positive about me is if I covered my body in chicken parmesan, but we do have games ready to go. We're going to knock Europe out of the park. Hopefully we got some shenanigans from them. It's been good games already so far today. This is the last week of solo qualifiers, which means the pressure is high. The tension, it's insane. Because if you're not going to make it as a solo qualifier right now, you're not going to make it as a solo qualifier ever. This is it.
Yeah, this is it for the first Fortnite World Cup, and now you can see Mongrel, the player who everyone thought, oh yeah, he's going to qualify. Well, now we're here, week 9. Is he going to qualify? Currently sitting in the 3rd place just behind Crew, and he pushes right on in and takes away everything from Hawkers. You can go queue back up, try and get your last matches in, as we have 25 minutes left in the region.
So Mongrel has been seen as one of the top performers in Europe, if not the entire world, since the World Cup began. If you had to pick 3 things from his play style, Sundown, I know you watch so much competitive Fortnite, what would you say the 3 most important things that he does as a player? What are they?
The 3 most important things he done are, 1, when he looks to go aggressive, how he shoots first. Like, yes, we talk about how good he is at building, but that's because he puts himself in the position. When he goes to drop down and be aggressive, he's looking to hit his first shot and then trail it up right away. And because he's already aiming in those spots, he's more than likely to hit those headshots, hits the reactions. The second thing, when he decides to rotate, the timing at which he goes enables him to play more aggressive and to catch other people as they rotate. And then secondly, what he does after he gets an elim. He's always looking for another one. It's never pause, go do something else. Gotcha. It's immediately go find someone else, find the next target, whether I need to cover myself from them or whether I need to go aggressive.
Love to see it. Appreciate your insight on that. That's why we keep you around, plus the luscious locks of hair, obviously, like a real-life Viking.
I hope so. I definitely think in a past life was a Viking somewhere, but now Wolfie's trying to be a Viking here and push right on over into the 1x1. Gonna opt against it and instead just raid and pillage that Elim away. Crinkle going down there as we now hit top 30. So top 30, Storm Circle 6. So incredibly tense zone and less than a minute till it comes to a close. Everyone's gonna have to rotate past Wolfies right here as 2 more go down and we get closer to the first placement threshold.
3 more before you hit that top 25. Rift to go, 2 launch pads, even a flintlock potentially as a mobility weapon here. Wolfie's sitting on honestly a pretty solid kit. We've seen the flintlock as one of the most used, versatile weapons in Fortnite right now. I don't think there's been anything that's come close to it, to be quite honest with you. It serves so many purposes. We said before, I mean, on the cast, just to make sure that people understand, it really is, it's a very important loadout piece for players that know that they're going to be playing inside boxes versus others that potentially have to fall down from above, especially if they don't have a redeploy. They've got a weapon that can stop them if they have 2 builds and catch themselves on the low ground before they hit the bottom and take all that fall damage. Applying pressure from underneath right now. Wolfie's trying to drop in his opponent. Quick replace to the floor. Wolfie's looks like it was be over there to the top left. Mongrel rotating the top right of your screen for just a moment. 2 more players need to go down before we hit the threshold. I'm thinking at some point we're going to see a Rift to go here from Wolfie's to reposition. Trying to bait out shots just like that. Sly Clement on the rotation does not realize Wolfie's is hiding inside the box. Here we go. Pulls the Rift out and pops it.
Yep, and he makes sure he's on the backside of the circle, scouts everyone else. They're not letting anybody else on a free Rift, and also just going to pop his parachute and hang out because it's 26, boom, 25, so everyone getting the 3 points there. And now let's take a look at the rest of the lobby. Keenstar on the low ground has already double qualified. Stompy as well now on board with Mitro here as he gets taken out by Lord Rohat, and that is monstrous. Did get the 3 points for the top 25, but not going to get any more. Mix and Stompy on the low ground. Nuji's Kaizen is about to go down as all of a sudden, and now we're into the top 15. That was Mongo. I apologize for speaking there. Stompy goes down as well. So nice little spree from Wolfies all of a sudden. Up to 6 Elims. You see Martos also still in the lobby as we get closer to the top 10. Wolfies continuing to take shots here, but not finding anything right now. Player next to him does own that wall, so just going to go 1 over.
Wolfie's an excellent example of timing the shot, timing the push. Doesn't have to move out too far ahead of the circle if he doesn't want to. You do get a little bit of that leeway. You have a chance to look back exactly as he's doing now and look for chances to take shots at players that are still on the move. Some shots from up above, that combat shotgun range, very effective. Basically the perfect range to scope in, ADS, take those shots, see if he can get full damage on it. Shot from above, third-party opportunity at the fish down below. Is he going to pick it up? And he does indeed, up to 41. 3 players left. Wolfie's at 41 points, 7 eliminations, a big game already. Launch pad's going to kind of be useless. A jump shot around the corner. Wolfie's picks up another Elim. Looking at 8 right now, and he's in a 1v1 all the way up top. The player dropping in. Spoiler. Looking for any chance he can. Take an opportunity to take a shot. 25 builds, both players sitting on about the same amount of material, so it's going to go into a heads-up 1v1 here. Someone's going to drop in on the other. Wolfies might make a climb before too long. Does have the flintlock and the launch pad if he wanted to do it, but just baiting the timing on a shot might be the most important play right now.
One thing to note, though, spoiler, has the high ground, also has 5 bandages and the campfire. If it goes to a full close, which happens in 45 seconds, he will have the advantage. But I don't think we're going to get there. Wolfies goes up with the flintlock. You can see that in the bottom right-hand corner, gets the first shot, now has the shield advantage, but loses the HP advantage as Spoiler puts himself back on the low ground. Spoiler in the top right, Wolfies in your bottom right. You can see the action on the wide. Here's that slight elevation change that's going to force Spoiler out. He goes out in the open. Wolfie 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Spoiler running out of builds, and Wolfie with the high ground retake from that flintlock, and he throws the tomato and the L dance at him afterwards, saying that's not only as the mobility component, which we've seen a lot of, but a lot more aggressively, like people pushing into boxes with Flintknocks. We saw that last Victory Royale with it, and really enjoyed seeing the different types of utility. I know you were saying how it's probably one of the most versatile weapons. I'd argue probably second only to the Heavy Sniper in terms of that, just because the Heavy Sniper literally does everything at all points in times. But I mean, just with how good these guys are with the Flint, like I can pick up a Heavy Sniper and get a couple elims, like that's fine. Most of the players can because it's 150 the body, but these guys make the Flintknock look just so good.
I feel like the Heavy Sniper is the #1 weapon for assisting other weapons and getting eliminations. Rocket into a Heavy Snipe, even a double Heavy Sniper pushing in, take a wall, push in and shotgun. The Flintknock has the movement mechanic on top of it, but it can't, like you said, it can't do things that the Heavy Sniper can do. You can't remove a wall with it on the spot. You can't chain it into other weapons. The Flintknock, though, is you catch yourself with it. Both weapons, though, are crazy.
1A, 1B. How about that? There
Exactly.
You go.
Exactly.
But yeah, I definitely do agree with you, the Heavy Sniper enabling others and giving you a long-range component. But Airwalk's right there.
Top awareness.
Just
love to see it.
Disables Amzdalo and gets everything from it, but needs to circle back and try and get that chug and pop it like now if he wants the HP to get off of that.
50 and 83, not too bad. Will still go down to a Heavy Snipe to the body. Got to look out for that. Looking for the quick angle change here. He might rotate out into the Storm if he can flip this if needed. The player still sitting right through that corner. You see he's checking through the brick, holding the edit on his own ramp. Closes the outside out, decides to rotate down underneath. Take the chance here to just box up a little bit, opting not to push that player. You can't really tell how much HP and shield they potentially have, so if he does go out there, he doesn't see what we see. Only 100, maybe 99 HP. Gross in there, but Airwalk's probably, I mean, the player of this caliber could easily push in a 96 and the follow through, like we said. There's a pickup. Airwalk's got up to 3 now, 32 points, and a ton of builds.
Yeah, and he got the Shadow Bomb for it, which for this longer rotation is going to be huge.
Just the one, though.
Yeah.
Just the one.
Just the one, and is going to pop it early. Also notice you can see that Storm Surge threshold on the right side. So what Storm Surge is, once you get into these later circles for circles 6 and 7, if there's more than 30 people left in the lobby, if you have been the passive player, Storm Surge will begin to punish you. You will start taking 10 damage every second as it comes out through. Once those
on rotation that kept him safe from Storm Surge. Crusher goes down. Airwalks picks up his 4th elimination. One more elim. We get to the placement points here of the top 25. Going to pick up 3 there. Get to top 15, that's 5. Top 5, that's 7. And that Victory Royale is 10. Reminding everybody, if you're just jumping into the stream, maybe you haven't heard what the format is like, always going to kind of refresh that in your memory. All the way up on high ground, looked like that might have been Skype. I'm not sure if dropped in. I'm not seeing him. I believe that was him all the way up there. Number of players, though, 25 heading into the 8th circle soon, as advised. 1 elimination, 35 points. No movement here. Bandages for late game, but that's not going to pay off right now. That is going to pay off. Carrera goes down. Another one. The follow-through finds Ghosts on the move. Looking for the 3rd. The triple gets it. Exon down. 4 eliminations now for Advise. Playing
in this lobby, another player who we've seen constantly in the top 5, desperately trying to get a solo spot, because again, this is the last week. Kazrola does get ticked over by that storm change. Again, 60 seconds if you damage someone. Random siphon coming through, and we're into the top 15 now with Airwalks on the mid tarp and looking for more targets.
Imagine a situation you get a tag on someone and 50 seconds later they get eliminated by the storm. You get that siphon at just the right moment. Could be so clutch. The timing can be so important on that. 11 players left, 10 now as Sky goes down to the feed. Swaggy picks one off. 6 eliminations for Airwalks. push through this wall, find a player on the rotation from behind, back-to-back shots, takeoffs, gets eliminated. Airwax picks up another one.
He's doing so well at finding people on the edge of the storm, getting next to him, and then just dipping out for a second. But the one thing you notice, he never dips out into the storm for longer than enough to take more than one tick. It does take a second to go through, and Majestic actually just picked up a triple of his own because of those storm changes. One player he elim'd, 2 got ticked over from the storm. That should be the player potentially up on the high ground, but now we have our top 5. Airwalks, 2 builds left, is running with that campfire now, but is sitting on 7 elims. Advise all the way up on the high ground. Majestic was on the low ground with Mick the Beast. Airwalks in the bottom right-hand corner gets traded out by Mick the Beast. Zedek drops down in the shadow form. He's not jumping around, so the player doesn't know where he is. 80 to the body. Can he find it? Pushes through with the combat. Says, I don't need a pickaxe. I'll just take your wall anyway. Brilliantly done there, but now can he win the 1v1 from the low ground? Player is 1 box directly above him. He hears it. You see the fake ramps out. He goes up, edit off the side, takes the high ground, drops down on top of 1, 2, 3. He gets it.
Literally waiting till the last second. The fake out on the ramp with he had 1 build left at the last second. So he was literally almost the most efficient he could possibly be with all the materials that he had left. Opts to move up a different ramp, throws the opponent off, drop in from above. Excellent high ground take, excellent push with the combat shotgun, and the victory royale. You love to see it.
Well done there from Zadek now. You see Marcotte and Fool right on the edge of the zone. An intense little 1v1 right now. Trap does go down defensively. Fool saying, I'm having absolutely none of that. You can see he wants to try and get the materials that are there. Trap does get broken on the other side by Marcotte. And now you get a nice little box fight. So this is one of the things, if you want to learn how to get good at competitive Fortnite, learn to fight from a box. Blows the whistle, says it's time to go.
The whistle to signal the push. Honestly, oh, that's very funny. Push in there. Fool gets 2 taps there. The shotgun follows through a 92 crit. Gets him the elimination. Double back, pick up the rest of that wood, anything that he can top off with. Shots coming in from the sides. Gonna have to wall himself off, double air, and Ops, instead of popping the minis, to shadow bomb, just because I think the fear of positioning there and exposure, maybe adding a little too much attention. Did take 1 more tap on the move. Gonna have a chance to heal up. Meanwhile, the top of this hill, thick with players, where they stacked up trying to make rotation here. 41. Well, actually, they're from the stream. Trick Pog taking forward.
Crew also in the match was second last time we saw him there. We got a number of duo qualifiers over on the side there. Players looking to get their solo spot. You see Kuma using the stink to try and force the player forward and then editing out. Boom, there goes the second one, knowing they can't stack in volume. And Quadra, that one smells. Go get yourself a gas mask. Try and queue back up.
When you're sitting on 3 elims now, holding the edit. Just gonna try and peek on through, deciding to apply a little more pressure. Oh my gosh, the back-to-back. The stink bombs, very lethal, especially at this point in the game. You have to realize these players understand if there's people that were caught rotating, got tagged up significantly, and didn't have the ability to heal, as will be the case quite often in games like this, where you have so many people in such a tight space. There's a good chance that people that are boxed up in front of you are potentially missing HP, maybe some fall damage, maybe they got hit by multiple people on rotation. They could have been, I mean, we even saw a Shadow Bomb player get shot just moments before that, and we're about 50 HP. That is a good opportunity to just chuck the stink in there, maybe do an HP check, see if they're low, and in this case, it pays off. 2 eliminations with basically no effort. And as you said before, we're looking to get the player count down to 30 before that storm surge goes away. We're sitting at 38 above for Dave, 32 players left, so 2 more need to go down.
Oop, boxes the baller in. The baller is going to just boost right on out, says I want nothing to do with that. Now you can see on the side, Dave getting another tag there. You see that threshold number also going up. Needs to be conscious. He left that edit open, but the player, because his back is to the storm, isn't going to have time to take shots towards him. So well played from Dave. Other player pushes it, and Tripburn from Singularity kind of caught a little bit there. Seemed like he was going for an aggro play, but
I think potentially he expected Dave to not look back, because the catch, good grab there. Tripburn, I feel like was thinking, okay, Dave's not looking at me. I'm just going to step out. I have the angle. I'm going to take the shots from this side, and ended up kind of getting clapped very quickly. Dave's reaction, rotation down there. I'm not sure how to say that name. I'm just going to put that out. It looks like a sneeze. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not even. I'm normally even trying to attempt on that, but we're in the top 25. Let's pay attention to the rotations. As you see, a number of players playing billiards there on the low ground. Crew up on the high ground. You have WGS Jag, the player from South Korea, playing over in Europe right now. This is the most ballers I've seen in the lobby in forever.
The most ballers I've seen in the game easily this weekend.
I mean, I don't think we saw this many ballers in Europe when they were at 300 health. Europe has an affinity or like a particular hatred towards ballers rolling around.
We've made comments in the past about how they always seem to be fans of taking shots at players that are in ballers on the move when they have an opportunity to. Maybe a follow through here, the back-to-back. Can't quite find it. But yeah, look at how many are left out on the field. This is a very rare sight for European qualifiers.
I mean, and it kind of compounds on top of itself because the more players who are in ballers, they aren't going to take shots at each other. And if you're not going to waste shots on baller players, you're not going to eliminate them. So, but once the explodes start coming out, that's when things get dicey because the RPGs can damage through the ballers, and with the 150 HP, one AR round into them and then followed by an RPG can be a ton of damage. But now Pill is just going to go to work, ignore the ballers on the low ground, running around like they're a game of marbles, and he finds Trockley and he finds Elocrats right after.
13 players left. Still on the rotation here, taking a chance to pop a mini. Does have the campfire, may or may not put it down. Not at this point. The Storm's too close to his back. He's going to have to push forward. Like you said, multiple ballers are still in play, and with players not jumping out and not having pressure applied to them, you're looking at way less than 11 people. The player count remaining, that's not the number that are actually forced to engage each other right now. The people in ballers are almost being ignored. The heavy snipe from behind, and Mavjo picks up an Elim, the push inside. He realizes Look at how many people are around in the same box.
And then said everybody goes up to the sky. No Elim coming out there. So all of a sudden, 3 up, 7 down. Talazeto on the ultimate high ground. Wesley Nutt and Blackso on the low ground. Jag ADX also on the mid tarp. Talazeto looking for shots. Has redeploy and the flint knock. Not going to find any. So ultimate high is going to be in his control. 10 players left, but he gets challenged.
One more all the way in the high ground. Just barely lost it. The flint knock flying up above. What a play. Takes the high ground back. Has ultimate high, looking down from above, only 29 builds. Has the redeploy to catch himself if he has to jump off, if he runs out of materials, but we'll see here in a second.
Somebody else just went up.
Yep, you heard it, there it is, the fish flying past. Felizito might take a shot. The flint knock kind of gets stuck in his own box for a second. This ADX dropping in Mexi from Loot Boy. In the middle of your screen there, Tolzito still has the high ground, drops down to the next tarp. Mexi building out, trying to stay in the safe zone. This is the most players we've seen in a zone this tight in a long time. The Rift.
That's one. Is one player up in the rift. So you have one player up in the sky. Talazeto on ultimate high ground. Power, Psyches, and Blackso down the low. You have Talazeto in your top right. Power in your bottom right. Talazeto looking for it, and he finds Mexi out of the sky, and he gets the Cypher. Now he's dropping down with the redeploy, looking for Psychic on the campfire, and he finds it. Gets the Siphon, and it's enough to put him over the top for the victory royale. Talazeto, you are mad indeed. The 2 Elims being the swing. 12 points there. Well done, sir.
The transition of the shot with the flint knock midair into an immediate descend, the redeploy to catch himself, and then the swap to the TAC AR and spray through the build while the player was sitting on top of both campfires. 200 IQ.
That was really well played from Talazeto. That's probably some of the best overall flint knock usage we've seen. We took high ground, I think, twice.
You did.
Going there, and then additionally picked up a sick Elim on the player out of the air with that heavy shot, and then dropped down. I mean, just well done.
Literally, you were saying he was unchallenged for high ground, immediately got challenged, and then used the flint knock on a single build out to take it back and force the player to drop. Well played. Well played indeed. What a loadout for the late game, too. Anyway, 43 players left. Next game, Europe.
42 players left.
42 players remaining. I just shouldn't say it sometimes. Looking for 41 players remaining here in a second. Someone trying to pick up another one. That was the first elimination for this player this game. By the way, quick reminder, 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. If you would like to queue in, you're in the European region, now's the time to do it. Those last couple in. This is the last week for solos to qualify to punch that ticket to New York City. Don't forget it.
And after that, there's no more solo spots. 8 more players will be advancing from Europe. We'll have 6 from NA East, 2 from NA West, and 1 coming out of Brazil. And then the solos competition will be completely rounded out. these are the final moments. Again, don't forget, we will go a little bit longer than the queue times because the average game of full Fortnite is about 26 minutes long. So need to let everyone finish up, get all of those results tallied in, because every single time it's going to come down to the last match of the server, those top point lobbies. And right now, Motor is trying to make a case to get into one of those lobbies as he's sitting in this cone looking for a peek. 42 players remaining, so again, everyone playing absurdly safe. Nobody wants to put themselves at risk, and Motor recognized that, trying to pile in on that player as Paquito and Freck get taken down, and we have our top 40, Tohaj, being taken down as well, and we're still 14 players away from the first placement threshold.
Get into the first full move circle here in a second. Circle 6 to 7, transition to the northwest. It'll be an interesting one, too. A number of players up on top of a hill. You see in the mini-map there, that left side based around the supply crate on the map. Holding the edit here. Motor trying to look out and see if there's anybody that might squeak out. He's looking back immediately behind him. I don't know if he realizes the player up above has an RPG. Oh, he does now. If he didn't before, surprise, there it is. A quick attempt. And the seal off, the close off of the edit there. Quick reset, well played from whoever that is inside.
Yeah, I just saw a nightmare situation where he had pushed out right after that for the shot and just accidentally stepped in front of the heavy sniper bullet. Now you can see that storm surge turning on right there. Motor more than fine, 502 above. Might regret popping that shadow zone since had a community launchpad placed right next to him, but he's...
Oh, I don't think he regrets it.
That's what I talk about when, like, sometimes I feel like these guys are playing a different game than I am.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I know for a fact I could do all of those things.
That's not Fortnite. I don't know what that is, but that's not Fortnite. That's some craziness.
It's nuts. These guys pushing the envelope, but Mongrel, speaking of pushing the envelope, not going to pull a Mitro on the dual partner there. Opens the door, gets over onto the side, and is desperately looking for every point he can. Doesn't want any interaction if he can avoid it. Remaining. Mongrel, that could have been your moment in the box. 2 HP. Erosi gets Aki. That's 2 more points going over for him. That could be huge. That could be it. And now Mongrel on the side of the zone, back up to 75 HP. What can he do with it? Will the siphon in the mats be enough? 70 materials on the side of the zone. 24 players left. Less than 5 minutes left in the queue times. If you want to go to New York City, you show up right now, and unfortunately, Mongrel is out. Let's see if he can get another queue as the rest of the match is now running. Provoked up on the high ground. You see Stompy, Martez also hanging out. Martez trying to take the high ground away, but SV Alman is up there as we hit the second placement threshold. Top 15 now.
Stompy picking up another elimination in the feed. Provoked at 3 eliminations from Fnatic here. Stompy picking up actually another one. Stompy absolutely owning the feed. Provoked trying to box up, stay alive, very edge of the zone. Takes the chance, an opportunity to pop that slurp and get a little bit of a tick. Moves forward, trying to top off the HP. Players fighting underneath him, looking for a chance to establish a base of operations on the move here. And it's going to be difficult. Does get the mini off, though. Looking for players from behind. Very common tactic here. You get into a safe area where even if it might be 3-4 meters, catches someone in the face with that combat shotgun. You look for any chance for a quick whip back, anybody moving in from the outside of the storm, because they're the ones that they're forced to move in. You can't sit out there. And so even if you have 3, 4, 5 feet ahead of them, you can look back and get a shot off and pick up an elimination. 40 seconds left on that European queue. Get in those games if you're going to try and get the last ones in. Quick edit, a peek through. Cubex gets tapped one time, very low. Now you have to remember there's a 60-second window after that damage where if storm damage maybe claims that player gets an elimination, it's going to count for Provoked. Dropping in here, 8 players left. Quick swap, shot, back-to-back, and MQ goes down. Looking for another, players underneath on rotation. Quick edit down, a push in, finds another on the outside. One more, looks for another, gets it. Stompy gets another. 3 eliminations, the triple in the feed, and there's 3 players left. Provoke on the ultimate low ground right now. 1 mini pop, moves all the way to the edge, pops.
First
campfire down.
He's getting pressure from both sides now, and this is the top 3.
Oh.
Can't find the shot. It's aim. Cubex who gets it. That's 52 points. 4 provoked. And again, each one of these elims, each one of them matters more when you're in these high points lobby. Martaz on the high ground, Kubek's on the low ground, 39 to 49 points. Martaz wants to close this out. 27 builds to the 0 of Kubek's, and that's going to be it. Martaz closes that one out. 43 points so far. Queue times are closed. The last matches will be coming in, but for now, we're going to throw it back on over to Courage, who's in the studio.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, that is it for the queues out in Europe. You see how dramatic it can be in these final moments. We still have more games to bring you. We want to make sure you get caught up to speed on those exact last matches, but I know, Zeke, we've had some things you were taking a look at that you want to show everyone at home.
Yeah, man, let's do this. We've got some cool clips as we make our way into the station. Just some really fun clips that I wanted to take a moment to talk about. Wolfsies, of course, just had a dope flick shot. Look at that, over on Violin, and just absolutely incredible. This is the level of skill. And I just want to highlight his rifling skills and just the way he approaches this fight. He knows the players down below, no builds, and you can just see he's using that brick floor, just ducking behind, making sure it's absorbing as much damage as possible. Airwalks. This is someone for me that I truly believe and I want to see go to the World Cup Finals, especially with the last opportunity. Him and his duo partner Nikov have already qualified in duos, right? We even know his other teammates, Kinstar and Hunter, have also qualified. The difference is that Kinstar right now is the only member from Solary that's qualified for the solo format, and Airwalks is looking to do the same. We're going to watch this incredible spree. Just look at the way he's navigating all this density, right? His game sense and his awareness is on point. He's going to pick up 8 elimination total in this run. Now, unfortunately, he does not end up getting the Victory Royale, but just look at this. He's unbelievable. Once he gets going, it's very difficult for him, for anyone to stop him. Now, we're going to see his untimely demise here. He is going to go and try and challenge a player. He's going to pick them off, and he does get traded back out. Now, keep in mind, though, he did make top 5, so he still got the points from that. Now, Tolecito, we saw this incredible play. I thought this was incredible because he used the Flintlock to shut down Mexi up on the high ground. And then just look at the HP from everyone else. He has HP advantage. He's so confident. He's just going to dive down and try and go for the challenge. Even if the player had traded out, he would have been in a pretty good state either way. So it was a pretty good game for these players. I mean, it's finals day. You know everyone's showing up big, making plays.
Insane right there to have the confidence to drop on down, redeploy. But guys, I'm not going to hold this up. We've got our final games from the European region. Who will make it to the Fortnite World Cup Finals? Let's find out.
Thank you so much, Courage. Also, just want to give a shout out real quick to the guy running the AR wall. Whoever picked the screen that was right there, the way the 2 lines lined up with the black floor.
That was actually
it looked, I was sitting here and I'm like, all right, that's a cool shot. So, you know, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. We give a bunch of love to the observers. Give him some love right there. Great screen. But now we're on board. Again, these are the absolute final matches. Queue times are done. We are in Europe, 8 spots up for grabs for the Fortnite World Cup Final. This is your last opportunity. If you are one of the best, you need to prove it right now, or you will not be on that stage. You won't be playing with Tfue, with X2 Jordan, with Stompy, and 6J trying to make a case for being there as he picks up Zegrin and then gets on his rotation.
Absolutely ridiculous. Between games there, while everybody was watching the quick replay analysis, Sundown and I were talking about the different regions and just how certain aspects of each region stand out, and I think it's unanimous agreement that Europe has some of the best technical Fortnite and some of the most aggressive play that I think we've ever seen, and it is so much fun to talk about and so much fun to watch because these players are playing on a level that I don't think you have to imagine back in the day when Fortnite was, you know, it was the battle royale portion was in its, you know, early days. No one imagined the game would get to this. You can't possibly have said, oh yeah, one day we're gonna watch players, you know, the technical skill and building and quickly editing and dropping in through floors and pushing walls and doing all these things, everything that they do. No one would have imagined it was going to come to this, the quick edits and push through Kais and picking up the first Elam. It's things like this. You could not have told me this is what Fortnite was going to evolve into. And you have to admit, whether you love or hate the game, no matter what you think about it, how things have changed and grown is fantastic to see. People are really pushing the technical skill that I think Fortnite has to offer in a way that no one could have predicted.
I mean, it's actually absurd to me, and like I said, I've been able to be a part of the process from playtesting through all of this.
You've been around since the beginning.
Yeah, I've never would have fathomed that players were doing this. I think one of the first things when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's good because you can be aggressive because you can like build at someone in your own cover. You don't just like hide behind a wall and stuff. And now it turns into, instead, these guys are building literal tunnels and mansions and skyscrapers in the span of 2 seconds. I think one of the plays we saw yesterday where the player one by one threw a trap down, edited a ramp, and shot all in the span of 0.2 seconds. So I'm like, all right, you're playing a different game than me. Yeah, right there. Sky taking away Yarkos' ceiling with a single shot, double replaces it, double edits down, and then pushes in the space of nearly a half second. He gets it 50, or I was about to say 57, but 60 points now as the top 15 does
literally just take over.
The player gets taken down, and Sky is creeping up into that qualification range. Again, top 8 players will go, and this is the last shot. How they earn the points: top 25 is 3, top 15 is 5, top 5 is 7, the Victory Royale is 10. Each Elam is 1, and Skite certainly knows that. He's been playing absurdly aggro. If he hits you, he wants to go.
You saw for just a second in there a quick attempt at maybe a heavy sniper shot, but he realized it wasn't loaded, opted back to try and push through the ramp instead. Very quick thinking on Skite's part, the swap out for the combat shotgun instead of the tac. Pretty common there, player looting inside, but Skite more focused on rotation and position, as placement points will be everything for a player that is this close to making it to New York City.
That was so good by him to go around the back side of that building so he could extend the shadow bomb timer up to now get up to the mid tarp. You have Light up on the high ground, 13 up Nay, now just dropping down on the tarp below Skite. So Skite is on secondary high, but he's boxed up right now. Light's going to begin to work top down, as we still have a number of ballers who are going to begin to get shot out as we head towards the second placement threshold. Kinzo gets taken down there, and Light continues to rain shots down onto these ballers, saying, hey, you got to play Fortnite with the rest of us. Burn your mask, get out of there. Top 15 is on the board. John22 on Twitch picks up Calzo. Uno OG goes down, and Light continues to check his top, make sure he's safe, and then rain shots down. Dalo gets taken out as we get closer and closer to the top 10.
12 players remaining. Light still ultimate high ground. Skite right underneath, and I believe I saw for a moment Benji Fishy was in this game, but it looks like he's been eliminated at this point. Kaizen on the ultimate low ground, going to have to take an opportunity to heal up if possible. 9 players left, and Light is looking for a peak shot on a player in rotation, trying to challenge potentially the high ground. The pyramid of the play underneath kind of signals to me maybe not pushing up just yet, and I think Light realizes that, taking a chance to look down at maybe other players in the move, and yeah, he sees another one. There's a scent of potentially elimination. Light getting challenged for high ground now.
It's Rapti. Rapti's going for it and then drops back down, realizing he's not going to be able to take it. Pops the shadow form and goes all the way down to the far side. We're nearing the top 5. Now, one thing to keep an eye on, look at the points next to the names. 56 on Light, 64 on Skype. This is for a trip to New York City, as Light is able to pick up 59 there. They want everything they can. 6 Shades, he gets Rapti, but Skype trades it right back out and loops back into the zone. Skype on the edge of the mountain tries to find the jump pad, and he gets it going to the sky. Light trades out Miles on the top, so now 60 to 67 points, but Skype on 55 HP. Light pops the shadow bomb. What's he gonna do? Opts to drop down, so now Skype has to know he's down there. Skype has no mobility. Storm ticks it over. Light gets the Elam credit as well, and that's gonna push him up to 64 as well, so evens it up. We're getting down to the final moment.
Depending on where this was in their games played, we're looking at 64 and 67 players for Light and Skite respectively. That potentially could have been a prevention for Skite to make it to New York City, or pushing Light all the way close enough to qualify if he has a game left. People have to realize these end games, when you see players at those point counts fighting it out for the Victory Royale, it can mean the difference. We saw it, I think, last week in NA East, a team just literally fighting the last second, the very last match, and the fact that one team took the win is what put them in the placement to make it.
It was week 6 duos, and it was RBK versus the Cooler Boys. The Cooler Boys, the Cooler Boys ended up winning the 2v2 from the low ground, got the Victory Royale, and the 3-point difference from the Victory Royale, not even the Elims, was enough to deny the RBK Boys the spot. So when we talk about high impact eliminations, high impact engagements, and everyone mattering, when the queues are closed, these are the last matches on the server, so not exactly live, but about 5 to 10 minutes delayed, you are deciding your trips. You're deciding other people's fates, and these are the moments when you need to clutch up. We've talked about before, you don't have to be the best, but you need to be better than the person across from you. And when you're dealing with the best of the best in a trip to New York City, that's still got to be really good.
Yeah. That's why I'm here behind the desk and not at the game.
I mean, I'm so glad these guys are so good. They make our job so incredibly easy.
And like, so much fun.
If the gameplay was really difficult, it'd be hard, but it's so hype. You guys are so good. Just shout out again one time, #Fortnite World Cup, to all of the players who have competed in the arena, in the tournaments, on Saturday, on Sunday. Thank you so much for doing this and making incredible plays and giving us this opportunity.
I do want to say too that one of the most common, I think, criticisms of competitive Fortnite is typically, the shots through, kills only, almost finding that elim, gets one big hit, can't quite find the second. Exotics does pick that elim up. I was going to say, one of the most common criticisms of competitive Fortnite is, everybody's sitting in 1-by-1s, not doing anything. You know, it's kind of slow play from time to time. I want them to pull this stream up and watch through these European games. Let us get to NA East and NA West and just how much pressure they apply at times. We literally just saw a player run out, push through a box with a heavy snipe and push inside and get an elimination, feeding into like window edits and shots through there with the combat shotgun. Competitive Fortnite, there's tension, there's action, there's pressure applied from every angle sometimes. You really have to dig in and watch long durations of this to see all the craziness that happens, because people are elevating the gameplay every time we watch it.
There's so many nuances, and I think the best part for me is every single day there's something new somebody is doing to push the envelope.
Yep.
There's always something somebody finds that is able to do. In every patch that comes out, somebody finds a new combination, or there's something that's slightly better. As Excite has now picked up 6 elims in this match. We've seen 3 of them. Woo! We've now seen 4 of them going to work with the legendary AR and the shadow bombs on the rotation, getting himself over to the sides of zones and then posting up and taking shots. You can notice, again, one thing, when you box up on an opponent's material, go over and up a grid space. You never want to be on the same level or one wall away from somebody else. Make them break 2 walls every single time, always.
You're asking to get pushed quickly if you land side by side, especially if you're about to force a fight for a wall. Sight looking for shots here on players in the rotation, a little bit ahead inside the circle. A rocket coming in a quick close, the close off the edit. Good reset there. He's going to catch it before it blows him up. Looking back behind, player rotating the outside. He sees the silhouette, watching for the shot, takes it, gets it. Voxy goes down up to 198 total HP and 8 eliminations. We're looking at the top 15 here. In one more player needs to go down. Sight the forefront of the storm now. Waiting his time, trying to wait for that shadow bomb to tick out so we can box up.
This is an incredible game so far from Excite. With that pushing over, he's on a 13-point match right now. Let's look at the rest of the lobby. Artur up on the high ground. You have Miko, Lars, Wallboom, Motor, and Zyflare all in the mid-tarp. Rest of the players on the low ground. You see Noodle Kongan just get ticked over from the storm there. Motor going to begin to work top down, sitting on 41 points. Gets the headshot, knows there's white damage there. Player in the box, sees him get eliminated, but he wants to continue moving forward. That was Maxa and Excite, who both just got picked up, and Motor is completely out of builds with no elims. He has to find something or has to find a way to drop down. Luckily, a player building on the tarp beneath sees the shadow bomb drop, and he's going to use the pine tree to not take fall damage, find Go-Go's on the side, and also gets all of his mats and a med kit on 80 HP. That could be huge. You have the ability with the campfire, but he's dealing with such limited ammunition in terms of the small rounds. Wallboom goes down to Artur, and we get closer and closer to the final placement threshold before the victory royale. Motor opts to pop the campfire early. If he goes to full 100, this could end up being detrimental to him trying to medkit if we go to full heal. However, don't think that's going to happen with 90 seconds left. Antaret gets Miko, and we're into the top 5.
44 points right now for Motor. Pressure from above. Gonna have to box up and wait. See if anybody can make the move. Like you said, a big material pickup just moments ago for Motor, but not enough ammunition to make a difference. Artur on the ultimate high drops down and reconnects quickly. Very important move there. You see he places a couple services and builds his way back up. Quick shotty shot. Anthrax trying to apply pressure. Player drops in, shots on the outside, gets Lars. Gonna have to rotate into the zone quickly as that storm is ticking for 10. 3 players left and pressure from underneath. Anthrax sitting on 2 builds, 15 bandages, but it's not gonna be enough to keep himself safe unless he picks up this elim, maybe some materials. 2 big hits, can't quite find the elimination. Gonna try and get ahead of the build. Shot from above, Pressure from the third party, and Motor picks up that elimination. A 1v1 heads-up situation. Motor at a huge disadvantage in the storm, ticking slowly, and Artur sitting on enough builds maybe to apply pressure. Down to 10 now, the drop in, and finds the elimination. Only 2, but it still gets the job done. A 12-point victory royale pushes Artur to 42 points thus far.
And again, don't forget, with the prize pool being doubled this week, even if you don't get one of those qualification spots there, the money is doubled in every single one of the placements. So each one of those interactions could be the difference in a little bit of a bigger paycheck. But now we're swinging right on board over towards one of the snowy biome areas in Happy Hamlet. 38 players in this match.
I think Happy Hamlet's worthless.
And what's it like? As in you don't like the drop spot, or
terrible.
as in like the town like shouldn't have ever been developed?
I think that they have outdated laws about leashing your dogs, and I also think that the loot positioning is poor. I do not like Happy Hamlet. If you agree with me, hashtag Fortnite World Cup.
All right, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. What is your favorite solo drop spot? I know Lupo's is a not Happy Hamlet, so what's your favorite solo spot? What's your current solo drop spot?
My go-to typically is going to be, okay, so there's a little pirate camp in the southwest of Pressure Plant that before the volcano went off, that's where I was consistently dropping. Recently, though, because of the changes, I really like Valhalla. I like the dance club. If I'm dropping solos and I'm not going for, like, because there's a different play style.
Competitive, super serious, ultra World Cup qualifier, where are you dropping solos?
I'll go Valhalla, and if that's contested, I'll fly past the Snobby.
Okay, cool.
I like that west side of the map, typically because it is not often challenged. You have so many opportunities for rotation. And the only problem is, like, you have the rocket base that now is kind of decayed a little bit to the northeast of Snobby. You have Valhalla that's up there. That you have a lot of places where there's going to be people that can see down from above. But I mean, you also have a quad in there. You can quad fly your way back over the tilted. What a back-to-back! That was 2 shots sequentially.
62 on the first guy for the body shot, finds the second player rotating and hits him with the headshot. We talk about the flint knock, efficiency in the right hand. Scoggin, the right hand's there, just wow, you talk about the pirate camp right there, going to work with the flint knock. I'm a big fan of that west side of the map too. I know the little kind of broken house between Viking Village and where Polar was, that's down there, has 3 chest spawns, and you can rotate away. There's mushrooms there. That's one of my drop spots.
Ice too, you can feed into Greasy if you want to. There's a lot of chances to move over there. I think the west side of the map right now is one of the best for solos.
I'm just upset. I lost the covered bridge down south in between Lucky down there. Has 2 spawns on itself, and then the pirate cannon that used to be there had 2 spawns, and then the house had a spawn. So there's 5 spawns that were all in the one spot, and then you move right into old factories. It was really good, but lost that one unfortunately. Now on board here with Styler, CSC sitting on 42 points. You can see him trying to edit.
Not sure about that shadow bomb.
He popped the shadow bomb like he was gonna rotate. He saw the supply crate, and then like,
I think he thought about it for a second and said, you know what, I already used the shadow bomb. I don't want to make this, I don't want to feel like this goes to waste, so I'm just going to, instead, I'm going to push for the rotation.
But you can see in the bottom. Martaz, Crippa, Waldo, Kisanth, Orc H, Fool, Bayon, Mods, Blazin, so many players. Mexi over there in a baller rolling around. Talazito in there and still above storm damage. So if you are rolling around in the ball, you will be getting the ticks going there. Have to play aggression, have to play aggressive going through to turn that off, or just tag somebody.
Knox in the feed a second ago, I believe, being eliminated by the storm. Looks like that threshold did get to him, down to 31 players. Need 1 more to go down before Storm Surge is no longer a factor. 94 above right now for Styler, taking quick peeks, maybe thinking I need to get a hit on somebody before it's too late. I'd say back-to-back hits is pretty good there. Pick it up an Elim, pushing it to 30 remaining. 1 through the wall to the right. Quick shot, misses twice, but finds a third. Tart goes down, picking up the second Elim so far for Styler, sorry. 29 players left. We're 4 away from placement points. And this is so many people trying to rotate simultaneously through.
On board here with Hybuzin as he makes his rotation. Mexi out of the baller, picks up Savid. Ghosty gets taken down as well as DIFFUSION. As he edits down, gets the shot, and then the tick over from the fall damage, I think?
No,
that player might have gone through.
I think that player that he shot actually survived. There was a storm.
Oh, it was the other player who went through. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, understood.
Full picking up an elimination with fall damage in your feet in the top. 4 elims right now. DIFFUSION trying to push up through. Like I was saying, the player builds that are out there right now, so difficult to push through if they're metal. It requires so many more melee hits from your pickaxe to try and break. It's going to slow you down. You're going to take storm damage from it. It's going to put you in a worse position. You won't be able to get to the forefront of the storm while other players are trying to rotate. Next from Loot Boy, looking for a peek shot there. Going to drop out of the box. Looks like a little bit of a delay there.
Just madness on that low ground. Everyone is down there as we're getting closer. Boom, there it is. Top 15. Styler does get taken down on that mid-tarp by Mods. Harvey gets pieced in. Mexi gets taken down by Zealous. Bayon there. Brilliantly done. Topped out on the light ammo. Kripa gets full as Mods gets blazing, and we're into the top 10. Top 5 being left.
Drops Martaz in with the edit. Catches him on the move with the corner edit and a quick swap. Oh, man. Sorry. That was insanity. What a quick reaction there, man. Now at 2 eliminations. Only 24 builds, but G just picked up all that brick a second ago. He's digging through any materials he has left. Bodobon all the way in the high ground right now. A single layer across, but it doesn't really matter. No one's looking up, and he's got RPGs for days. Looks like he's going to look down from above and try and take shots.
Good pickups from Kripa on this mid-tarp right now as Bodobon is going to work. Shadow, though, on the turn. Can Bayon catch back up to the zone?
And ramp.
Kripa gets caught by Bodobon on the high ground. The single tarp strategy on the high ground. The one rocket he fires down for Elib and the victory out. He says you can take that out. 11 points coming out from Bodobon.
Well played there. Even just the single layer of brick, because there were so many layers of material below, that's actually really, really good thinking on his part as he's moving forward. He looks down and says, no one's going to challenge me. There's so much mass in the way.
Through pressure plant, so lots of geysers, lots of innate natural mobility, and a decent amount of mats and metal that can be reused, so it should be interesting to see what ends up happening here as we hop on board here with Train H's Alpha. Train H being the team Train Hard, hits the geyser and says, I'm going to zone.
There's players all the way up on the drone in the sky above. You see him Alpha on rotation, checking up above quickly. Going to layer up twice to stay away from the player underneath. You don't want to get dropped in on somebody else's structure. Replacing the ramp with a cone so you can get quick edits in whatever direction you need. I do want to make a quick statement. You see these kind of edits, he's looking for shots now, and then he'll quickly do a reset after he feels like he's shot for long enough. You don't want to get caught gargoyling, tunnel visioning on somebody where you're exposed and someone might take a shot. And there's a lot of players in front of him. He might not see them, but they're there. But what I was going to say is oftentimes we see players do like the window edit and then instantly reset so that they can get transparency through the metal or the brick. More often now I've been seeing players do a door instead of a window because at this level, even that imagine you have 3, 4, 5 frames where there's a window open. Someone might sneak a snipe shot or rocket something in through the window and you're gonna get punished. Door doesn't do that.
So close the door.
Well, yeah, you put the door in and it's still just a solid surface. So you prevent any opportunity for somebody to sneak a shot in. Yampi there, I was going to say, you might want to reset that window, speaking of.
Mongrel in the lobby, Crew in the lobby as well. You can see Mongrel currently sitting on 55 points. Last time we saw him, he was at that 50 mark. So down to it. You can also see Storm Surge. He's 98 damage above it. Again, that will get turned off at 30 players, so expect aggression to come out. Second Shadow Bomb being popped and just trying to get to the far side of the zone, get away from people, box up and be safe. Mongrel wants to play patiently, wants to not be eliminated early. Generally, you're used to seeing him play much more aggressive, but with everything on the line, with the queues being closed, with the last opportunity to book a seat in New York City, he knows he can't mess up. He has to get points here if he wants to be going.
You got to be thinking these players too when they're back.
Airwalks and Alpha Amons are both in the lobby. I apologize, but this place is stacked.
No, it's insane. You're right. I was going to say, players typically too at this level that are watching the queue and watching the leaderboard, they're going to ready up and then they're going to immediately go look to see where they are on the board as they go into the next game. Even sometimes they have a chance during their, like when they're boxed up in here, they'll pull up the leaderboard if they can on the website, something like that, and see if they can find out just how many points they need to make in order to place. Does not surprise me that Mongrel's trying to play a little safer, pushing over the top of this campfire player underneath. Another one boxing up inside metal. A lot of layers here. An attempt to maybe get a little bit of an advantage here in terms of elevation, pushing forward, branching into the next circle.
Oh, Baller almost took out his build there, which could have been absolutely devastating. Would have dropped him down. No tarp beneath. 28 players remaining. Look for shots. He finds it.
There we go.
There you go. Leon Flares goes down. 26 players remaining. Wolfies gets picked up by Chris. Mongrel up to 56 points. Looking for it, and that's 59 now as he hits the top 25. Player directly next to him on the box, but trying to pop that, and Crew goes down as well. Was in the top 25, but that was the player who was in the second place last time we saw him. You have Windstrike Mayhem, who was within distance. Now you have Airwalks, the Solari player, at 53 points, trying to drop him down. RPG up on the high ground. He follows it right away. Swat gets swatted out of the sky, but Astro SMZ is also making his push for the top as he's picked up his third Elam since we've been watching. Mongrel gets another one, picking up Romu as we get closer to the top 15. Airwalks getting some reloads into that combat shotgun, wants to make sure he has every tool available as we push down to the final fight. Airwalks up on the ultimate high ground. ETQ rounding around the storm. Mongrel going to challenge on the mid-tarp, and he gets Carrera, and he also gets into the top 15 as we slide on board with Train H's Alpha, puts the trap down, and he gets Astro. Astro knocked out. Could be his World Cup run over there.
26 points thus far for Alpha, but not a big deal. He's still putting on a good show. Shots back behind, finds another player. Cell caught in a box just outside. Rotating forward, 9 players remaining. Scalamo goes down to fall damage to the feed. ETQ eliminated by that combat shotgun, so powerful in these close range fights. Alpha, 6 eliminations, looking for the 7th, pushing through, applying pressure through the wall, does not want the player inside to take the chance to get anything. Mongrel picks up another elimination, then immediately gets eliminated, goes out in 7th place, almost the top 5 for those points, only going to get 5 placement. Could still be big enough to make his way to New York City. We will have to see before too long. Top 5 now. Alpha, 30 builds, a mini opportunity. Anything to heal right now is going to be big. You don't want to be caught by players that may have positioning, and Oldies does in fact have that positioning. A 1v1. Players are basically 1-2 boxes away from each other, and Oldies may take the chance to rotate up out of the storm. We'll see here, stuck against the edge. Airwalks, the ultimate high ground, just waiting. 97 builds for Oldies, but only 1 for Airwalks.
52 to 58 in points. This could end up being the difference. Oldies looks to go for it, and he gets the zone back from Airwalks. He takes away the zone, but Airwalks knocks him down. No fall damage coming through. Can Airwalks find the shot?
No build.
Oldies just keeping the zone in the area, and Oldies gets the victory royale, pushes them up to 55. Airwalks falls at 58 with no builds.
Imagine being Oldies knowing you just eliminated Airwalks from Solary, Mongrel from Secret. You've got to be feeling really good about that game. A big push for points, too. That was, like you said in the middle of it, a very, very stacked lobby. A lot of pressure, too, because you have so many players now in these games that we're showing you. You have to remember at home, the ones we're trying to pick the ones that are best for affecting the leaderboard, because these are the plays that you need to see. This is Europe, by the way, if you're just tuning in. If you've popped in a little late, we're trying to push our way through these games because there's so many things happening, but all these lobbies are going to be so intense because everyone is vying for those top 8 positions to qualify to go to New York City.
And that's what it's all about, getting a spot in the Fortnite World Cup final. This is week 9 of the online open qualifiers, the last chance in the solos competition. And if you want to sit on that stage, if you want to be playing with the best of the best, the Bizzles, the Vivids, the Tfuse, the Dementos, all of those top players on the stage with FaxFox and Vanny, you have to clutch up right now in these final moments and against the best players, because if you're unfamiliar with how the tournament matchmaking works, it's 3 hours, 10 matches, and as you climb in points, you're matched with players close to you in that point range. So the matches only get more difficult, the players only get better, and these are the times, these are the fights you have to win if you want to be playing for your shot at the $30 million.
A quick note, too, if you're watching, this is the final game for Europe. Everything for these players to qualify for solos for New York City, to play for $30 million on a stage bigger than any stage Fortnite has ever seen. This is the last chance for Europe. There are a lot of fans out there of a lot of these players. Do me a favor. Go on Twitter. Tag your favorite players and show them some love. Keep the negativity out of this. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup, because Fortnite has done something that not many people ever thought would happen. They've put a focus on every player that has played out of their minds. And I want to be sure that all these people that have played, have qualified, have tried their heart out, they need to know that you're supporting the heck out of them. So again, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Please let your favorite players know that they've done an excellent job. Win or lose, doesn't matter how many eliminations. All these people have a lot of heart. It's important that they know that.
Indeed, a lot of heart coming out from all of these players. It's so incredibly hard to get.
I laugh as you say, but honestly, what a perfect name to see pop up. All that being said, no mercy this week.
Weigh-in picks up it. He says no mercy this week. Indeed, it's all about those last spots, trying to find the Shadow Bomb player as he rotates through, getting the shots going off here. And this is what it's all about. Storm Surge is on for 3 more players. Weigh-in pushing forward. Lacey Sher gets Bass and then gets traded out by Rasmussen. We have our top 30. So Storm Surge is off. First placement threshold in 5 more players. Black Sue over there in the mid-tarp, gonna hop on board with him, sitting on 46 points right now. Going to need a monstrous performance if he wants to top off. He's seen a number of players pushing up towards that 60 range. Don't forget, 8 spots coming out of Europe. Top 25, the first placement threshold, and Black's is in a good spot to hit it with the 4 Shadow Bombs, using the first one now.
The stream's got to be feeling good about how their players playing thus far. Black Sue and Skype both excellent thus far. Potentially see Vato at some point. We'll have to find out. 28 players, 26, 25. What a quick shift in player count. Points going out. 3 for everybody left on the board, down to 22 already. This rotation has been lethal for so many. Such a big shift, down to 21 now. Chip goes down, 20. Every time I feel like I say it, we're about to see 19. There's another elimination. The Toxic Donut removed from the game. Black Sue pushing forward here, 2 eliminations. Don't want to get caught by someone boxing up, as we've seen so many times in the past. Trying to maybe land somewhere inside a box with a launch pad. Going to move forward with the Storm. Excellent position now. Has a chance to kind of wait and peek back behind. Someone is up above. He's got to be careful there. That edit going to jump up and move on through to the next section of this circle. Still not stopped. We're very close. You look at the mini-map, the blue and white cross over the circles. Once that happens, you know players are going to start boxing up and peeking back for sure. Back-to-back shots, back-to-back eliminations.
No, he only got one of them. Daryl got the other one. That could end up
apologies.
being huge. Like we said, every single one of these interactions mattering, but Blackso trying to push the envelope and get every elim anyway. Will he be able to find it? He hits the shot, gets the siphon onto Purge. All of a sudden, Blackso has single-handedly fragged his way into the top 5. 57 points, but we've seen more. He needs to keep pushing. This is the last match on the server. This is the top 5. Frenzy, Nate, Screaky, Masato, and Blackso will be closing out the European region. Blackso right now extending the time route on the Shadow Bomb. He's in your bottom right. He drops down. Nate gets taken out by Masato. Frenzy begins to work. Top down. Takes 55 fall damage. Blackso pushes in. Hitting Masato in the same box. Masato disengages around the side. Blackso desperately trying to find the shot. Needs everything he can. Top 4. Screaky goes down as Masato finds it. Frenzy continues working from the top down, but Blackso Blackso needs the space. No builds left on Frenzy. 47 points for him, 57 for Blackso. This is his chance. Can he get Lestream to the World Cup final? He's looking for it. He finds the first shot. 88. Can he convert? No. Frenzy picks up the Elim, but he finds the 30 right after. Needs the Elim and the victory royale. 461. But can it be enough? And can he close it out? He's looking for the shots. 49 shield, 85 health, no builds from the low ground player. Frenzy gets cleaned up, 61 for Lestream's Blackso. But will it be enough? Courage, will it be enough?
We will find out, folks. 5 weeks of solo competition have led to this moment in Europe. The queues are done, and now it is time to find out who exactly has made it on through to the Fortnite World Cup finals, who will take up those final spots from the European region.
I think it's time to take a look.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen,
wow.
First off, congratulations to Andretta, who throughout the entire day was in that top spot. Crew, Skite, Light, Mongrel has made it on in. Was what everyone was wondering if he was going to do it.
Yep.
People had high expectations. He clutches in the end. Mku, Teak, and who did we just see in that last game?
There you go, man. Blackso, he makes it in for Lestream. That's huge for the French-speaking community because we saw Solary already go through, and Lestream kept getting edged out every week, but now it's Blackso's time to shine. Really quick, though, Andretta. So you talked about this guy's been on fire all day long.
Yeah.
We actually kind of pulled stats on his previous week qualifiers. For the previous solo weeks, 291th place, 127, 218, 610, and now first. All day long. Went from like 50 viewers on Twitch to like 20,000. Send Andretta some love. All his hard work has truly paid off. These are the 8 that are coming through, Courage.
Congratulations to them. I think there's one more thing we can do. It's time to punch there.
Go.
Light.
You need to do is buy your tickets to the block party. Tickets are only $35, Fortnite fam. Map. Spoiler alert, it's dope! Day 2, Celebrity Pro-Am. 50 pro gamers, 50 celebrities, all battling out for a $3 million charity prize pool. What more do you want? What more do you need? Fortnite fam, you need to be there because we are ready to party with you. Bam!
Heyo Fortnite fam, Sundown here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Flintlock pistol and its impact on competitive play.
The Flintlock pistol
Bah, du coup, 2 lessons qualifiés. C'est pas mal ça. Quelle vidéo? Ah bah il y a Sky et Black Sue qui sont qualifiés. Sky et Black Sue. Ah oui. Ah ouais. Non mais là c'est fini là. Là, maintenant il va y avoir celle d'Asie je crois maintenant. Oui après c'est sûr que tout est intéressant dans tous les cas. Et t'as vu il s'est qualifié aussi mon Graal. Mais tu sais qu'il était pas encore qualifié mon Graal hein. Il vient de se qualifier qu'aujourd'hui là. Vas-y tu me rejoins on fait de la moving zone. Bah parce que j'ai mis mon titre et ma mini et tout, donc du coup on fait de un peu comme ça et déjà ils vont venir avec nous. On met terrain de jeu comblé. Bah là je vais attendre que ça revienne là. Là tout à l'heure on avait fait un petit pic à 10 je crois ou un truc comme ça. Là ça s'est calmé. Ouais. Ça s'est calmé là. Mais genre mon stream j'ai dû le recommencer plusieurs fois. Bon, au pire, ouais, parce que je dirais des conneries. Vas-y. Bon, j'espère qu'ils ont mis de la moving zone, parce que si c'est pas de la moving qu'ils ont mis. Ouais, mais je sais pas ce qu'ils ont mis, c'est... Ouais, nice, c'est moving zone. Parfait. Ouais, c'est vraiment le top en plus. En plus, c'est la dernière, je crois. Par rapport à quoi? Ah oui, je connais. Ouais. Ouais, j'ai capté, ouais. Ah ouais, du coup... Ah ouais. C'est ça. J'ai passé là de tout, j'ai cassé, j'ai fait que les bas. Ah ouais, j'étais mid, j'ai même pas vu. Ouais, je suis d'accord. Non, j'ai pas entendu, non. Attends, parce que j'essaie de voir les gars. Yo, ça... Attends, excuse-moi. L5, ça va quoi? Je sais pas, je suis tombé, je sais pas comment. Mais c'est un truc de fou, j'ai les mecs qui glissent de dingue. Non. Vas-y, j'ai été nul sur celle-là. Excusez-moi les gars du niveau que je suis en train de proposer, là je suis nul. Hein. En tout cas, n'hésite pas à t'abonner L5. Après, ça fait plaisir. Il y a 4 éliminations, c'est pur là. En plus j'ai oublié les PM et tout dans le truc. Les gars, si vous voulez venir avec nous pour la fin de stream là, n'hésitez pas. C'est pas. Ouais. Ouais, bah c'est pour ça. C'est pour ça que je dis fin de stream. Absolument. D'accord, je suis un V2. Ah, il reste pas de mecs. Il a bien été passé à truc parce que j'avais dit direct. TG, dommage, bien joué à toi. Allô? J'ai pris cher. Ouais, Ah, ça, on a mis là les checks. Ouais, vas-y. Ouais. Oh, allô? Je vais faire une ou deux games après je vais stopper. J'ai pas d'armes. Toi ça va, t'as une maison toi. Ah non, t'as même pas. Ah non, t'as pas de mission. Laisse-moi. Je vais récupérer ta carte, tu vas voir, je vais récupérer ça là-bas. Moi je sais, mais il faut que j'arrive à prendre une arme. T'inquiète, en vrai je vais cavaler après, ça va passer. Après ça dépend. Elle est en haut ou en bas? Où? Ah ouais. Capté. Il a un HP. Il a un HP lui. Non, en fait il a pas un HP. J'aurais jamais dû sortir. Moi je crois que je vais y aller moi l'autre choix. Dernière. Vas-y, tu veux. Genre après je vais laisser mon live mais genre je vais mettre le truc de la World Cup là. Comme ça va remettre tous les moves et tout. One HP. Mort. Moi, tu stream avec moi ou pas? À toi? Ah oui, tu vas en mer. Ah. Non. En vrai, on pas quand. Les marines, je crois, elles travaillent demain. Papa, travail. Hein? Non, elle taffe pas en fait. Bon, du coup, on n'a pas le max. Alors, attends, on finit la game. Et dès que je serai hors stream. Oh, au pire, viens, on joue après sur Fortnite, mais mobile. Battleland, mais viens, au pire, autant faire du Fortnite mobile en duo. Ouais. Voilà, là, ça va être wow. J'imagine même pas l'équipe. Hein. C'est ça. J'ai 0 shoot. J'ai qu'une fois. Allô? Ah ouais, bâtiment je crois là. Ah, ça rien. Go push le bus. Je suis en train de push le bus. Ah là-bas. Ah là. Touché 0 fois en l'air. J'ai un shoot. Vas-y. Devant moi. Sur moi. Mort. Ah, ok, il y a des mecs. J'arrive. Ils sont en contact là? Ou tu peux tempo? Tu peux pas tempo? J'ai. Oh my god. J'arrive, je suis là. J'arrive. Ah pardon. Vas-y t'inquiète, je te passerai tes balles. Ils avaient quoi eux? Bah GG bro. Tu prends le lance-patate? Yes. J'ai pété un plomb. T'as tout compris. Tiens, un peu de bois. T'as récupéré les 3 sandbox drop? Parfait. Du coup, tu prends lance-patate, et je te passe l'arcade. Hein. Attends, les mini-potes, je le prends. Tiens. Tiens, les 4 roquettes. Ici. Je vais faire un tour moi, du quoi. Ouais, 6. On va à la zone. Hein. Je vais... Et on va à la zone. Hein. Je prends l'autre tuyau. Yes. Ouais. Il est bien quoi. Merde, ça m'a fait tomber sur eux. Il est où? Là ça monte. Là go push. Il est low en plus dans les airs. C'est quoi bro? Viens en fight. Je me dis quand t'es bon. Viens, on descend en bas parce qu'il y a des failles et tout, de toute façon jamais. On est pas nice. Tiens, et t'en rentres dans le bleu. Tiens, voilà, mets-toi bien. Oh, ça arrive là-bas. Ah non, ils sont là-bas. Ah, oh, fais gaffe. Viens en faille. Hein. Faille, viens avec moi. Allez, bâtard. J'arrive, je te follow. Je boxe toi. Mort. Il a pris une tête en haut. L'eau, la blanc. Il est fini, il est blanc celui-là. Laisse-moi le sauver son pote, s'il te plaît. Il reste un mec en haut, je crois. Vas-y, vas-y, t'inquiète. Il y a des mecs là-bas. Tête, plus chill en face. Oh, fais gaffe, il y a un mec là. Go push. Ah, 2 Thompson, full Thompson. Non, 77, tu l'as pris. Dommage. Il a plus d'HP, je crois. Dommage. Bon, mais j'ai loot. Moi, j'ai loot, je vais y aller. Genre, je vais laisser genre mon stream mais sur la World Cup, mais je vais y aller. On se dit à demain. Vas-y, hein, à demain, ciao. Bonne soirée à toi.
I was using the bowler to get the end game, and then I usually found out like when I needed to drop out and stuff to go for the eliminations, and I usually had my bowler until end game. So the thing is, you should try and keep your bowler until end game, because it's really strong. You can go out of your bowler, get a lot of kills, and win the game. Also, you can use the bowler to get height most of the times.
Yeah,
so I did that sometimes. And
we saw you execute on that a number of times, which is kind of something we were talking about, pushing the gameplay and actually turning the baller into something that was aggressive. Now, kind of about midway through, you looked at the leaderboard, saw you were in such a lead and knew you'd be able to close it out. But my question is, when it was all said and done, and you saw you were there, you're in the #1 spot, what did you do? Did you run around your house? Did you go tell your parents? Were you celebrating on Discord? What was that moment like?
I was celebrating so much. I actually got hosted by Symphony. My stream was going crazy. I was actually, while I was playing, like my 5th game, I started crying because I almost knew I was qualified. So that was probably one of the best moments in my life ever. I don't know what to say.
It's got to be exhilarating, honestly, to know that, especially in Europe, which we've talked about as one of the most difficult regions to qualify in. Even with 8 positions, there's so much pressure there. But I got to ask a kind of a random question. I keep seeing the lighting change on your face. What are you watching right now?
I'm actually watching the Fortnite stream.
All right, you see yourself. There's layers here. There's layers. It's very Inception level. Well, thank you so much, Andretta, for joining us. Before we let you go, though, if you could do me a favor, please shout out your own channels, shout out your duos channels, anybody you want to.
Okay. So my Twitch is Andretta. My Twitter is Cypher Andretta. My YouTube is Andretta. And I want to shout out Shoko Laden, and all the people in that Discord. And I want to shout out my stream. Thank you so much for the support.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Again, incredible performance both yesterday and today. Congratulations. $10,000, a spot in New York City. And as Golden Boy would say, we'll have to get a slice of pizza. We'll be seeing you later, man.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely incredible. It's crazy to think just the age ranges too. You know, the kids that are so young, all the way up to, I believe the oldest qualified right now is 24
right now. Yep.
Consider how much they're playing for too. I don't blame him honestly for getting emotional in the middle of even halfway through his games. It's insane.
It's just nuts to me where he's like, oh, I didn't have the level of confidence. And then right after, it's like, yeah, about like halfway through my games, I started crying because I knew I'd done it. And it's like, that's the level of confidence you need to be bringing on the final day. Just huge shout out to Andretta. Go follow him on Twitter, follow him on Twitch, give him all the plugs because I promise you'll be seeing more of this prodigy. Topping Europe is an incredible accomplishment. But we have more games and more regions to be getting into. We saw Oceania and Asia just now. We're going to hop on in to Brazil for a brief little bit. So back on over to the cast as we go.
Thank you guys so much. Man, you know, I feel like we've just nerded out about Fortnite, but now seeing Andretta be there and just like talk about things, it makes me want to nerd out more.
Dude, it gives me the feels, man. These young champions coming up and coming out, and it's crazy. Like he said, he just knew he made it, because if you look at the track history of all the players who've qualified so far, I say it every week, it only takes about 5 or 6 games. That's all it takes. If you get 5 or 6 aces, just solid games, big points, big placement, you're knocking on the door.
Right.
All you got to do is not choke the rest. Just ease it out. Just ease it out. Get a couple here, get a couple there, secure the deal, and Andretta knew 5 games in, oh my gosh, I think I got the 5 that I really needed to make it to New York City. And that was it. That was like literally it. Long behold, though, he gets first in the whole thing. European, the toughest region, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One of the toughest regions. Of course, you can't take away from West, who sometimes only gets 1 spot. You know, OCE, Asia, and Brazil, of course, they only get 1 spot. It's crazy. That's arguably harder, but when you talk about mass player pool, Europe is hard, dude. To get #1 is insane.
Well, especially for Andretta, I had a card not that long ago kind of saying a few of his placement spots. Last week, we watched him end in 610th place. And now, the last solo week, now to see him in the final week come out as that #1 player. You know, that's...
just clicked.
You know, I would associate like, you know, there's 8 spots. And if you hit one of 8, great, awesome. I've qualified, great. But to be able to say, of that 8, I was #1, look, you know, Tifus of the world, you guys need to respect my game. I came in #1 in Europe. That's why I'm here in the finals. Like, let's go. It's going to be insane. Oh, man, I love Fortnite so much. 23 people left in the current lobby, though. Monster hopping in Storm Circle 6. Now, guys, don't forget, we are hopping into Brazil games. These are live. For a moment there, we had the timer. We're about 1:30 or so left on queue times. Don't forget, it's 10 games.
An hour.
About 1:40. Okay, I was close. Darn. I was just off by 10. We have either that 3-hour window or 10 matches to play, whichever comes first. And then, obviously, we're going to, you know, make sure that, because don't forget, you can queue up even with those last few seconds and then play out an entire match. We want to just make sure everyone has enough time to wrap up their games, get those standings out. But here we go. Peru, hop into with him. 100 ping. All right.
Things are unfolding right now as we speak. So this is a live situation here. Brazil, known for another region that you have to pick up heavy elimination, secure placement points. This is not just a win every game and you make it through scenario. You need the elims as well. Nice shot right there from Peru. 100 ping. Connecting with the combat. Oh, bumps his noggin right there, and it's going to cost him a second launch pad.
Yeah, you definitely want to look up. You never want to make that happen because you waste a secondary launch pad, but it's okay. New rotation coming out. He's got to reassess. He's going to be able to get himself to safety. Now, he's already hit top 15, so everything's okay. We're still in the running here. But, you know, there's a lot of big names in the Brazil region. All the W7M boys. You see the red teams, right? You know, Snow, just to name one. You know, the X-Own King. So many talented players.
Seen Techno Viking kind of through.
Also from Red, you know, man, there's so many players here that this spot could go to. Tries to challenge for the launch pad, doesn't get it, and says, Kin, I'm going to go ahead and shut you down. You took that launch pad, I need it, and that's what helps him make the rotation.
Ooh, but he does get hit by a combat. It's Ice who's in the high ground, so Peru's now found himself in a dire situation. He's got to start healing. Tony's underneath the build, putting some pressure up, but Tony gets melted by Code, Pulsari, and so does Gabriel. Just gets owned by Vanessa on the edge there. Clip Node now putting pressure down. We're going to hop into his perspective here as he's looking for this combat. That's 1, that's 2. Doesn't find a 3rd, but it's okay as he raises himself up into the layer. He's trying to get a brief moment of peace in this crazy storm that he's in right here. He can't even heal. A nice little shot. Fran, he catches him in the toe. It's going to keep him in the game here.
This is huge, man. He's already on 8 eliminations. When we talk about elimination counters, especially on finals, 8, is massive. You know this player has been on a spree, and look at this. Clipnote looking to play it out as technically as possible, looking for these angles, waiting for people to turn their backs and send shots over. I think he's trying to go for the wall replace.
Yeah, he hit this guy for white, so he knows he can take this right here. He's got to be careful, though. Can't let his guard down. Turns around. It's Peru, who was in a weird spot before. He was very low on health. Turns that one around. Someone else goes down to the storm right there, so Clipnote couldn't even get that. It's Vamos, who was still in the game. And Exakao holding up the high ground right now. What's he going to do? He's just walking on these builds. He doesn't have anything left. Neither does Clipnote.
Oh, in the shadow form, he just obliterates the player. That was absolutely insane. But Clipnote is the victor of that game. Like, see what it did there? You maybe saw it, maybe didn't. It's okay. Next game, though, massive prop. Oh, you see
the clip and the this and the that.
I just rhymed. No big deal. I'm not a rapper. 44 players in the next game. Moving on in. Man, he popped that ghost right in the sky. Maybe you could call him a ghost buster.
Oh.
Shout outs to Jeff. I made your joke. We're going to high five after this from production.
Oh, did you just take his joke?
Yeah, he wanted me to make the joke on broadcast, so I did it. Again, guys, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Give production some love. There's so many people that work so hard to make this all possible, and they're all wonderful human beings that I honestly cannot give and express enough love for. So just say, hashtag Fortnite World Cup production team. You guys are awesome. That would mean the world to me and to them. And an hour and a half. I guess 36 minutes. I'm just going to be specific because everyone's always like, you're rounding, don't do that. I'm sorry, it's just how I work.
Yeah, Zeke, there's 1 hour and 36 exact minutes and 13 seconds at this current moment. Every second, every moment matters.
That's right. Here we go.
It's Fax trying to get this guy to come down. Combat redeploy. He gets behind the tree. Tree works out in his favor and shadow bomb.
You saw it too. He was like, dude, I want this elim. I worked real hard. I need to find it. And they shadow bomb out. They're like, no, no, no.
Oh,
and in the end, it was the elimination credit. He must have fallen to the storm. Don't forget, with those recent changes, you got to be more careful, man. That 60-second timer, you can't play around with that.
Dude, he must have, I can only imagine in shadow form, if you wall hop off of a structure and it throws you back just a little bit. It must have been just enough to hold him into the storm.
Yeah.
And that's how Fax caught that elimination here. As the congestion, this is unreal for the Brazil region. You don't see it get this crazy, but 40 players basically on a non-moving zone right now. We're just approaching the first. Luco Boy finds Mew Pao there, and Oni Tomori is putting in some pressure as well. Just kind of seeing what he can find here. Fax just waiting on by, trying to...
He's got the launch pad.
Holding it in the hand.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give it away, because if you put it down early, it does make that sound, and players know, all right, community launch pad, there you go. Great, making sure that the storm overtakes it, so if anyone else wants to do it, they take the damage for it. Bro, we are nowhere. It's still 9 players. 8 players need to fall before top 25.
Yeah, this is actually insane right now. These guys are sticking around for placement in these final moments here. But if you want to take first place, you got to get elims here, and that's why Fax is being so proactive right now.
Something to point out, too. Check the right side of your screen. The damage threshold, don't forget about that. Look at this number, though. 1,000 damage above the threshold. This guy is putting in work right now. Fax, he is going full send. He is aware. He wants to try and qualify. Remember, there's a spot up for grabs in Brazil, and these are live games happening right now. So, you know, Oceania and Asia happen overnight. We still have to crown a champion coming out of the final solo week for Brazil.
Yeah, Fax is already at 13 points, so if that was his game 1, he's way ahead of the curve here. This might be about his 3rd or so, but nonetheless, he's still in the running right now. These are some respectable points to be had. He's going for the high ground, catches him with a clothesline to Zoom, straight up, hits him with the 96. And now, he's in it, but he's going to go down to the low ground here. He doesn't want to contest for the high. He still has to pop some minis, and the server's collapsing on him with raining fire here. He's got to be extremely careful. Lucky for him, the high ground is in a battle of its own now. Fax catches a moment to regather himself as Ganks and Lorax is in the high ground.
Man, and look at all these players coming in from the community launch pads, any rotational tools they had, the Rift to Goes. Oh, yeah.
That's a weird place to be, man. You can't build on that thing.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You have to build over it.
Up and over.
A shot into the storm. Oh, my. That is Tuela's picked up, too. Tate as well. Frita. Batata frita. 2 eliminations
Is that,
to name.
is that another? Oh, that one's just yoinked from him. He almost had it, but credit is still to be had here as he is turning up right now.
Bro.
I can't pronounce that the way Zeke did, but batata frita is going in right now. He's looking for this high ground.
You see the technical builds too, using the cone and then hopping out around, using that floor to catch yourself so you kind of save a build there? All right, batata frita. I'm about it. An 82 and a follow-up. That is Lorax.
And he got the mats. That's what's important here. He does have the materials to hold out now. The high ground is here. Can he stick it out, though? Yes, players are dropping right now. We're in top 6 suddenly. So all these placements are being divvied out. Just one more person goes down, and just a little bit more is going to be rewarded to him here.
Man.
So you can see the shot there.
This was really good from him, right? Making the decision to go high ground. Look at this. It's put him in the top 5. We were top 25 when we kind of tuned into him, right around there. And because of his decision making, he's gotten himself all the placement points. The victory route is the next threshold. And look, Monster, he's just looking to close this out.
That's right, and I love it because he's just textbook holding his high ground, but he is out of mats now. So this is where you have to go down, uses the cone right there to sit on that, and he just has to give the high ground to Avir here.
I believe that is Avalar, I think.
Oh, Avalar, gotcha,
yes,
gotcha.
I think so. Sundown can correct me at some point. He's going to go toe-to-toe with that player, though, and that is it. Good day, sir.
All right, did he get mats off that? He didn't, Zeke.
He's got the flint knock, though. He's got...
He's got the combat, so he's got right there. One more shot to Wonder Erzin is going to go down. Is he going to go down? Yes, he is. Frita connects in the final moments right there and walks away with a 6 elimination victory royale.
Man, 16-point game coming out of the Brazil region. You like to see it. Now, Fortnite fam, you know we've had so much fun hanging out with you, but for now, let's sit back in the studio and see what Dr. Lubo's got.
Thank you, Zeke. Thank you, Master D Face, you legends. I know a lot of people are wondering, and yes, we're going to look at it here in a second because the tension in Brazil is high. South America putting on an excellent show, and we want to see what the standings are, so I'm going to take a little stroll on over, and we're going to look at the board and see exactly where everybody is lining up right now, and here you go, top to bottom. Club Note sitting at 51 points, 4 games played in 2 victory royales, but right on his tail, only King, 45, just 6 points behind, and only 3 games played. You see the spread here, not too far away from each other. Multiple players from previous qualifying weeks. King, Code Nix right there. Both players already